Hi everyone, and welcome to today's presentation on the cross-cultural management challenge that CHEMCHINA will likely face upon its expansion into Switzerland after acquiring the agricultural chemical company CHEMCHINA. In this scenario, ChemChina intends to complete the acquisition at $43 billion, and three directors from ChemChina will be joining the Syngenta board of members in order to assist in managing ChemChina expansion into the Swiss market following the acquisition. In this presentation, the macro-environmental aspects are analyzed through the PEST framework between China and Switzerland to identify the opportunities and threats ChemChina would experience when operating in Switzerland. Next, information is presented about the potential cultural challenges that ChemChina would experience. These consider cultural differences and the implications on ChemChina's managerial practices, information about recommended strategy that ChemChina can use to address the sources of cross-cultural challenges will also be provided. The economic institutions in China and Switzerland possess both similarity and differences that are likely to affect the operation and the expansion of ChemChina's through acquisition into the Swiss market. From the economic growth perspective, China and Switzerland experience different GDP growth rates. For instance, China's GDP expanded by 5.2% in 2023. However, the GDP growth rate in Switzerland was 0.6% in the same period, growing at a rate of 0.3% every quarter. These differences show that Switzerland's economy is growing at a low rate. ChemChina is therefore likely to experience challenge in achieving financial growth rates, expectations upon its expansion into the market due to issues in future planning. The distribution of economic institutions in the region also differ, which is likely to influence planning and completing the agricultural chemical manufacturing sector. In China, most of the income and the contribution to GDP growth come from the service sector, which include art, entertainment, and professional art, contribute 52.8% of the GDP, while the manufacturing sector contributes 39.9% of the GDP. Switzerland economic institutions that leading the contribution to GDP growth are in the financial sector. For instance, the Swiss bank is recognized globally due to the institution rules in adding 10% to the value added to the Swiss economic. The financial service sector has become the country's leading employer. From this view, China could access wealth management advice from professionals in Switzerland. In this section, the political-legal relationship is considered and the comparison drawn between political institutions in China and Switzerland. China and Switzerland have engaged in bilateral discussion for an extensive period, indicating that people and leaders understand each country's leadership and political system. For example, bilateral trade between China and Switzerland has existed since the 1950s, and since that time, the countries have been borrowing ideas and strategy from one another. For example, the Federal Council of Switzerland borrowed China's strategy, which assists in developing Switzerland's and China's objectives and measures. The international and trade policies imply that ChemChina can have an opportunity to learn about the governance structure and the culture of Switzerland, thus helping defining the leadership process. Differences in the political system and governance structure between China and Switzerland may, however, still cause challenge in developing leadership and staffing policy due to differences in leadership styles and practices. For instance, the political system in the Republic of China is unitary, with different levels of governance, such as province assigned to particular rules, and the governance process is hierarchical because all systems are centralized to report to the central government. However, the political system in Switzerland is highly democratic, with a political system operating under the confederation, the cantons, and the communes, and providing citizens with a direct say in the political decision. The political and the governance system exports CHEMCHINA's management to the challenge of balancing the different leadership approaching that influence organizational management, especially when strict director employee by ChemChina must be on the board.